is going to be cool.
The topics and opinions expressed on the Dudes and Beer podcast are intended for an audience of 18 and up and are solely those of the host and guest. They neither reflect the opinions or values of either the sponsors of Dudes and Beer or your mother. I mean, seriously, have you ever heard these guys? They'll talk about anything.
Whoa, hey, you think they're going to show it? They'll probably just blur it out. Whoa, check it out, Beavis.
Grab your beverages and turn up your interweb. Solving the world's problems 12 ounces at a time. It's Dudes and Beer. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 70 of Dudes and Beer. I am Christopher Jordan, your host. With me as always, here in the cave in Austin, Texas, the Austin Music Rooms, is Stephen Bishop, Nelson Kugel. What up? We're going to be giving you a little post-Halloween action tonight. We're also going to be talking about the joy of collecting. We all collect different stuff. We were just talking about collecting things before the show, so we're going to talk about the joy of collecting, why we do it, why we collect what we collect, because, you know, that's a thing that dudes do. Like, we have our collections of shit.
We do. Collections.
And, you know, it's something that kind of defines guys, our hobbies, our side projects.
Yep.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, right after we get back from this message from our sponsor.
Hey, he don't even have his license, Lisa.
Crazy drunk driver.
Hey, everybody. Chris Jordan, host of the Dudes and Beer podcast here. Has this ever happened to you? Tired of looking in your rearview mirror after a couple of drinks with friends or worrying about no-refusal weekends and DUI stops? Are you planning a night on the town and want an easy, safe way to get around while still having fun? Well, Fare is the ride service for you. Simply download the easy-to-use and free Fare app from the Google Play Store or iTunes Marketplace and use promo code DUDES10 every time you ride with Fare to save 10% off your ride. Have a Fare driver you liked riding with? You can not only give them a review and tip, but you can add them to your preferred drivers list on your Fare app and request them every time you ride with Fare. You can schedule rides with Fare to pick you up immediately or as far as 30 minutes to 7 days in advance, eliminating the need for last-minute calls and allowing you to pre-schedule pickups in locations other than your home city. Perfect for those traveling for business or for fun. So don't forget to stop on by and download that free Fare app and use the coupon code DUDES10 every time you ride with Fare to get 10% off your ride. That's right, don't forget the coupon code is DUDES10. So be like Dudes and Beer, everybody. Party safe, use Fare, and drink responsibly. That's right, everybody. Make sure to drink responsibly whenever you're out.
Yeah,
Make sure to bring your wallet whenever you're out also.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
It's a great idea so you can close tabs and things like that.
No, you just go back later.
Yeah.
Gives you an excuse to go drink.
back. So, Steve-O got to work for Halloween.
Yeah.
Nelson ended up going to a neighbor's party. We thought about doing a live broadcast and really thought about it. And then I had an early call today at work, and I was like, you know, it's probably best for me just to knock off early, make sure I'm there. We got Tuesday night anyway.
Yep.
We just released a great episode with Billy Stewart from the Scary Dad podcast, which has been rebooted, guys. Go out and check it out. It is him and Mr. Fontenot doing stuff, and it is a great take on what was a great show to begin with. So stop by scarydad.com and check them out. I was at actually the Scary Dad party in Houston this weekend. And that was epically fun.
I saw some photos. Wow. What were you, a sailor or something?
I was just a sea captain. I was a cruise captain. I had my Hawaiian shirt on and a little captain's hat.
I didn't see Gilligan in the picture.
My brother was the Joker. My Billy was the Joker. So there were a couple of those. It was a good party though. Nice. There were some party crashers that showed up.
Nice.
That were like, really?
Wow. Party crashing.
And like they admitted
Yeah.
it, and they admitted it. Like, oh no, we don't live on the block. We just saw this going on, and
saw
like,
this
are you
thing.
shitting me right now? What the
Wow.
hell? Yeah, it's some chutzpah, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
really cool.
how was the party you went to, bud?
It was great. It was over at Crowbar. They do a Halloween costume there. Or a Halloween costume contest. I didn't really dress up. I didn't have anything on or think of anything at the last minute. So
Right.
There
Yeah.
were a lot of people there who weren't dressed up, so I didn't feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a big deal. But it was great, man. Good pool tables. I got two nice pool tables.
Yeah.
They have
Crowbar's
some
good stuff.
hot ladies there.
Yeah, dude, bro. It's fucking Halloween.
It's Halloween. There's naughty witches everywhere.
There was the most naughty Satan I have ever seen. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I spent last night actually with Amy sitting there distributing candy to the kids in the neighborhood, stuff like that. That was super fun. First time in our house. You know, it was great.
Hell yeah.
Watched a lot of old school horror yesterday.
Nice.
Got my big fix on that. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
I always try to watch at least like one horror movie a week leading up to Halloween, if not one a day if I have time to do it.
Fuck yeah.
Didn't really have time to keep that schedule this year, but we did watch the remake of Amityville before we left for Houston, and that was actually really well done.
Doesn't that have Reynolds in it or something?
Yeah,
I thought
it's got
so.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Wow.
He went crazy, fantastically. He did a really, really good job.
I
It
remember
was a
seeing
great
that
take.
remake, and I thought it was a pretty decent remake. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. It was okay. And I'm trying to remember what else we watched yesterday. I know we watched The Blob whenever we got home from the party Sunday evening. Yeah, that
was
on TV.
based on an actual real thing that happened. Two cops found this thing that they saw like fall from the sky, and when they followed the light into the woods or whatever, there was this blob, and they tried to touch it. And as soon as they touched it, it disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It came from that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you believe that?
Well, it's documented.
I know that the movie The Thing is actually, and it's shown all the time up around Halloween.
I can't remember the
here
story
in
on
Texas
that,
because it happened in Texas.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, like there was an actual serial killer and stuff like that. Like it was pretty crazy. But it's interesting to me because I love horror movies. We watched Creepshow and Creepshow 2.
Yeah.
You know, those are always some fun campy ones. She can't really do a lot of the hardcore gore.
No.
You know, I'm about it. I love it. That's what I live for in horror movies. You know, I love me a good like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street where it's just like bathed in blood.
All right.
Like
You know,
when Johnny Depp gets killed.
Hellraiser, you know, stuff like that where like bodies are recomposing. Like the special effects, I just love them. I love
I
them.
like it when they reanimate or something. They come out of the bed on Hellraiser or whatever, you know.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen The Thing?
The Thing, it's been so long though.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
really remember it though. But I remember I was a little kid when I saw it.
Wow, that's kind of young to watch. that
Oh,
kind of movie.
unless you're talking about the remake. I didn't see no remake.
No, the real deal.
The
Yeah.
real deal, yeah.
I remember I went to go see Freddy vs. Jason. It was a date. Okay, so
That's all right.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed to go and
She
see
wanted
that.
to go, so it was all right.
That's a hip
But
chick.
That is a hip chick.
I mean, I was
Excuse
from the-
me, hip young lady.
Yes, I was
Don't get
more like. I mean, I don't know. I just seeing the first two, like original Freddy, was like going to seeing that. I don't know. Was
Yeah.
But what was just hilarious was like almost every scene change was blood just drawing down the screen.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's interesting because in both of those series, there came a point with Freddy where they definitely started playing with the dream realm a whole lot more.
Yeah.
And like putting people into really weird situations that weren't necessarily horrifying, but like twisted and crazy, like what you would experience in a dream.
Sure.
So it was a concept that they were going for. It ended up being a little hokey and campy most of the time. I kind of like some of the hoke and camp in it myself. Jason actually I believe it's number 6, was where he was electrocuted.
Yeah, that was
And
where
from
he was
that
brought
point
back.
from that point on, he basically became like this supernatural thing that could like teleport and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
before that, he just knew his way around the woods better than you because he'd been kicking it in the woods since he was like 8. you know.
Well, that was one of the things that kind of drew me back from the movie is having all these like blood coming down the screen.
Yeah, the
Scenes.
cheese effect.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got Jason who has already passed on, and now he's some like supernatural being, and then you got Freddy, who
is a supernatural
who's gotten so weird and having these really like deep ambient dreams to his victims. Like, make something a little bit more original. Like, we've seen it before. Like, do something else. This is 99, 2000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do something different.
Right.
Like, it's not the 70s or anything anymore. It's not the 80s. Like, let's do something else.
I thought when it hit the Freddy versus Jason movie that, you know, like it lost a lot of the scariness and it was more.
I was laughing.
Well,
every time they were screaming, I was like,
well,
really?
you have to consider though that with those movies to begin with, number one, you have to look for a certain amount of camp. Like, you have to. That's what they were about. Like, that's why people watched them, because they were kind of hokey, but they were graphic as hell, and they were crazy, and you're always guaranteed a boob or three, you know? You're guaranteed first chick takes her top off, she's going to be dead.
Yeah.
Give her 10
Most
minutes.
definite, yeah.
We got a 10-minute timer going, and you can almost set your watch by that in classic horror.
Usually when she takes the top off, it's within a few minutes.
Except for Return of the Living Dead, which is a typical one that I watch on Halloween.
That's one of my favorites.
But yeah, that chick takes all of her clothes off, but that's
You're
the
talking
trick.
about the punk rock chick?
Yeah, that's the trick though. See, she goes full on.
Yeah, full on.
So that's why she gets to live through the whole movie, like up until toward the end and stuff. Yeah, spoiler alert. But, you know, the only reason why she has more than a 10-minute clock is because she went full frontal.
Spoiler alert.
wow.
You know, like she got full naked. So,
Nice.
you know.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
There are some classics that I like to watch at Halloween. You know?
Hell yeah.
Night of the Living Dead, stuff like that.
Yeah. I always like the original Halloween on Halloween.
Yeah, the original Halloween's great.
Yeah.
I
So
actually
fucking
watched
good.
Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Oh, yeah?
Which is a personal favorite. I love
it's
that.
got the kind of like, it was weird because it didn't have, what's his name in it? Michael Myers.
It didn't have Mike Myers in
Yeah,
it.
I
No.
remember that when I was little, and I'm like, what's up with this?
Well, what's funny is that series originally was supposed to be like a movie or two of like a short story. And it was supposed to be a series of movies. So there were supposed to be numerous. Mike Myers just ended up becoming so popular that after 3, they saw that people were pissed off because Mike Myers wasn't in it, and they're like, okay, well, I guess we changed the concept of the franchise and we bring it back around to him.
They brought it back
That's what it's
around.
about.
Yeah, number 3 is like totally
But that's
different.
why number 3 is like,
awesome.
Okay, suddenly we're dealing with microchips made out of blue stones that were stolen from Stonehenge.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
and it was like this whole like sending a message that activated the chips and like
wasn't the
killed
mask
the
like a
kids
pumpkin
and stuff.
mask or something?
They had a pumpkin, a skull, a witch,
that's okay.
all kinds of stuff. They had numerous masks, but the popular one was the pumpkin. Yeah. And actually, little factoid for you Knight Rider fans out there. Season 1 of Knight Rider was right up around the same time as that movie's release.
Whoa.
And if you watch the Halloween episode where he goes to a masked ball, you actually see a dude walk right by the camera in a silver shamrock pumpkin mask.
Oh, wow.
And it's pretty hip. It was like, oh, check it out.
Dude.
He's got a silver shamrock mask on. That's awesome.
Dude, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a little nerd factoid there. So yeah, check out the first season of Knight Rider.
Hell yeah.
The Halloween episode, and there's something about a jewel thief or something like that at this high-end estate. And I gotta say, we're drinking some Audacity right now, and Steven had an interesting opinion on Audacity. He didn't enjoy it.
No.
That's what I cracked at the beginning of the show, and I'm a man, and I'm gonna finish this. But I'm here to tell you, Denton, Texas. I spent my college years in Irving, and nobody really enjoys Denton necessarily. You know? It's kind of like, hey, everybody, let's go to Round Rock for the day.
Let's go around, right?
You know, that's Denton to Dallas, or Irving even. But the reason why you don't like this, it tastes like Mickey's.
The reason? Huh, that's weird. Because I like Mickey's.
Taste it again.
It tastes.
Taste it again.
Could
It's
be
very
like a sweet.
It's
Mickey's.
very malty. It's very malty and you know. But to me, it's got the Mickey's bite on the back end. So I don't know. It's not my favorite that we've tried on there. I'll be honest. I haven't
too sweet.
I'd like to try some other things from Sunset and see what they're
absolutely.
about. And see, because Texas has a huge brewing revolution going on right now. We are literally like center mass of the microbrew industry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right now.
I just came from one. Yeah. I mean, that's Austin, Texas in general. Texas.
Yeah, you're normally kicking it over at ABGB before the show.
Right.
So
yeah, they do.
Listen to vinyl night.
Yeah, BYOV. Bring your own vinyl.
Yeah.
Bring a record, get a free beer.
Well, and let's get into that a little bit, because that's what we were talking about with collecting earlier. Steven actually just picked up some albums.
Yeah.
He's taken to collecting vinyl, and I've been bringing a lot of my vinyl collection back from Houston. So
I like to hear everything. The ambience.
But you just landed a sweet album, dude. Tell us about it.
I bought the one that says Muzak, and it's blue. And I guess I got lucky because it was only $2 and it was unopened.
Nice.
Nice. So you're guaranteed to have some good vinyl, and ends up it's like a $30 album, something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the album cover, but they spell Muzak differently than
with the Z.
Yeah, well, it's how it's spelled. It's M-U-Z-A-K.
Yeah.
But they spell it different. They have like an E or an extra C somewhere. I'm not completely certain, so I couldn't pull it up. But anyways, yeah, I have that record, and I picked it up, and it was in a fire, but it wasn't like complete. Like the record's fine, but there's a small corner, and there's like this small warp. But I picked it up for $5, and I first listened to it, and this is at the time that I didn't know about Discogs, and so I'm listening to this record, and I'm just loving how it builds up and like what it is. And then when I got to Discogs, finally about 5 years after that, I had researched that album and realized that it's a whole like linear progression for like your like emotions for your person. And so their whole study was actually see how people would react to the build of the whole record. Anyways, great album. But yeah, if it's what I'm thinking of, Unsealed like that, man.
And if I remember right,
you've got Virgin vinyl. That's classic, dude.
The Muzak, it's kind of that. It's a blue cover, and on the Muzak it says, it says Muzak, but it's the letters are like it looks like it's flags or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, there's too many coincidences. For sure. It has to be it.
Well, and it's amazing though, because I mean, how much did you pick that up for? You said, and where'd you pick them up?
Can't reveal that information. No, I'm just joking.
Reveal it, dude.
It's Goodwill.
No. I mean, that's just it. Like, I personally was back in the day, I was a half-price books hound.
Hell yeah.
That's where I found most of my vinyl.
That's what I'm going to have to
was half-price books. And, like even here recently, I was in Houston for a gig for a week, and I texted my wife because I hadn't had a paycheck come through yet. And I had like $60 in my pocket to start the gig. And I was right there by a half price, and I was coming back. And I was like, man, I haven't been in this half price in a long time. I'm going to stop in.
Nice.
I'm going to stop in. There's always one book that I look for. I always look for Stephen Bruce, Terrain in Hell in hardback. Because I saw it at a half price books in college for like $8 and didn't buy it. And I've never ever seen it in hardback again. But other than that, I go and peruse through the LPs. And I go and I peruse through the comics. And I picked up like the entire run of Kick-Ass in great shape, like beautiful shape, for I think it was $1.50 a comic.
Really?
Something like that. The entire first run of Kick-Ass, and then plus like one of the variant covers, there was easily a good like $50 worth of comics there. And then I got like Frank Miller's Ronin book 1 and 2. It was like, oh my god, just like this. The guy that was checking me out was like, oh my god, dude, you got some freaking gold
for $150 or $1.50.
$1.50
for $1.50. I walked out spending like $15 on comics.
Wow.
And got like a shit ton of bad ass comics. Wow. So like it is about the diamond in the rough, and it's really, for me, when it comes to collecting, it's about the hunt.
Yeah.
It's about the hunt.
Yeah.
Like that's why I love going to Comic Cons. It's not necessarily to say like, sure, I have comics from days of yore that I want to get signed and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, like my brother got some stuff signed for me at the last con in Houston because I wasn't able to go. But aside from that, I love going and digging through dollar bins.
Sure.
Yeah.
Something I've really gotten into collecting lately from Comic Cons is old school sci-fi novels.
Nice.
Like the dime store, you know, you've got like 15 stories.
Right.
And I've got a couple that are like Arthur C. Clarke's featured in it and stuff like that. That's like sweet. Like the artwork is so badass.
Hell yeah.
It's kick ass. It actually reminds me a lot of the artwork from Quality of Mercury.
Oh, nice.
You know, where it's like that old school 70s,
Yeah.
60s retro sci-fi, just really badass.
Hell yeah.
Which that actually, he just released, by the way, Quality of Mercury. Shout out to Quality of Mercury
Oh,
Transmission.
nice.
He actually just sent out an email to everybody saying that the final test pressing has been approved.
Good.
So the vinyl will be available soon, gentlemen.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind picking that one up.
I probably haven't
brought
received an email because the email that I gave him is probably a deleted account now. So I probably
Yeah,
won't
right.
get that. But
You're
anyway,
a
shout out,
jerk-ass,
dude. I'm
dude.
so stoked.
Yeah,
So stoked.
yeah, it's good stuff, man. I'm happy for him. It's going to be great, and
Hell yeah.
you know, but
Good
yeah,
stuff,
for
good
me,
stuff.
the collecting is about the hunt. Now, you
Right.
collect a few things, Nelson.
A few things, yeah. Definitely vinyl. But yeah, I collect a few things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I'm a rock.
Bikes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Starting a collection of motorcycles. Getting there. Got 3 now. It's definitely going to grow. Most
Yeah.
definitely. The next bike I want to get is either like a nice touring Harley or something else. But something where I can do like, 4,000 miles comfortably,
yeah.
But yeah. Love motorcycles, man. But yeah, I got a good collection. I'm extending the record collection slowly.
Yeah.
I dig that. It can get expensive. It can get
Jeez, yeah.
It can get expensive.
It can get expensive rapidly, especially if you're looking for hard to find things,
Jesus.
specific stuff,
Yes.
things like that. Like
Dude, I
I'm-
was in Guitar Center today and getting what I needed, and they have a little section of vinyl, which I didn't know.
you don't
about
want
it.
to buy vinyl.
No.
Where at?
Guitar Center.
Oh God, that shit's so expensive.
Yeah. I was gonna say
like $30.
No,
Yeah.
it's literally every record is always $3 or more than what you can actually get it for at Fry's or via the internet.
Well, there was a Tool, and it was like $45.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And
what
that's
I'm
like
saying.
33
I
somewhere.
picked it up.
else.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, dude, I used to love this one," and then I turned it.
Was it
around
the
and I was
4 LP or?
Like, nah, it was
2?
what is it, Opiate or whatever? The one with the tall.
Lateralis?
Nah, it's a really-
Opiate with the 3 heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just single. No, it had to have been a double LP.
No, that was a short album. That one was. I remember I had that on CD. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if it was just a single LP for 45,
Yeah.
it had to be
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
blew my
That's
mind. I was like,
ridiculous.
"Geez, really?"
picture album maybe.
I do, well, and the thing is, I see that kind of shit all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
quite honestly, you see
Yeah.
new LPs, like even at half price books, new LPs are going for $25 a pop.
Yeah.
Smooth. You know, and you got to think about it with the acetate process and everything else, the delicacy of it. It's totally different than cranking out a CD.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Well, then there's also those ones that they have on the top strip. It says digitally mastered, something
Yeah.
like that, and it's like this certain company that actually masters the original into vinyl,
Yeah.
and those are $45 at
Yeah.
like minimum. Like
Wow.
the Santana album with the lion's head is drawn. Like just one LP, just a standard
Yeah.
record, no gatefold, nothing special, $45. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, see, I
Like,
can
I
find
mean-
that shit at a garage sale for fucking 50 cents.
Yeah, and it's
all
like,
day long.
it was like third release, like 83 or something like that,
Yeah.
and it's still vintage, and it's
Yeah.
still, I think it would probably sound better than, like I think the reason they also sell those is also dedicated to the audiophiles who have like $100,000 record player,
Sure.
and $300,000 speakers.
Sure, they've got their clip speakers.
Yeah,
and
and their cartridge is $15,000. Like just the cartridge, $15,000
Yeah.
easily.
Jeez.
They want that. They don't want to put junk on their $15,000 needle, and I get it. So that's why it's
Yeah.
ridiculous too.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wish I had a needle like
Well,
that.
I also have like $150 records that I would like to bring to ABGB, but I don't want it spinning on that. record, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a $15,000 record because we all have seen that. We've seen
Right.
records go. I think Jack White bought Elvis's first record for $350,000.
Jeez.
I think it was something
The
like
Sun something.
that. Well, it was a Sun label,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
but it was pre-Sun. What it was John Perkins,
Yeah.
blue suede shoe,
Yeah.
labeled, peeled off with the heat gun, flipped over, and then handwritten Elvis's mother or something like that.
Dude, that's badass.
And so when they had the record, the label was peeling, and they took like surgical calipers and peeled it back with a mirror and read it. And shit.
and read it.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's deep.
The collectible market is amazing, though. It's there are so many shows that go on now. Like there's a vintage toy show that goes on in Houston
yeah.
on the regs, all kinds of stuff, and people are meeting up in groups.
Yep.
Hey, you know what little toy that I kind of thought of the other day that people kind of miss? You got the Transformers and all these things that people do talk about, but remember, they're kind of cheap. Remember the Muscles? They were called Muscles, and they were just like these little guys.
I somewhere in my mother's garage literally have a Crown Royal bag full of muscle men.
yeah.
They were called Muscle Men.
Yeah, Muscle Men.
Yeah.
I thought he was about to say Tamagotchi or something like that. That's
They
like,
were the simplest toy ever.
Oh yeah.
Muscle Man.
Yeah, they were just these little orange dudes that were like
Kinda
crazy,
pink looking, right?
jacked up
okay.
wrestlers and stuff like that. And you just, I don't know. It was really the first incarnation of things like homies.
They had yeah exactly homies. I like
Those
that.
are so cool, dude.
Right?
They had no moving parts.
Yeah.
No, they were dope.
They
I
didn't even
remember-
have color to
Yeah,
it.
being a kid in
It
HEB
was-
with 50 cents deciding
Yeah.
which homie I
It
was
was
going to
prior to Beanie Babies.
get. Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
They were all
where-
jacked up on steroids.
Yeah. They were all these like hardcore, like
Nice.
yeah. Some of them had like forearms. and shit.
Man.
Nice.
Yeah. I still have my guys.
I don't ever remember buying them in the package, so I don't remember what the package looked like or how many came in a package.
Yeah,
there had to
me
have been more
neither.
than one.
Me neither. I
Yeah.
think it was 3 to a pack.
There had
or
to have been
something.
more
three
because
or
it was
4.
just this little tiny freaking piece of plastic,
Yeah.
And he's all
Yeah.
or whatever.
Nice.
Your dad has a badass collection of stuff. He's
Oh, shit.
we
he
gotta
sure
go.
does.
We gotta go do an episode from his man cave because
Yeah.
his is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty dope collection of toys too. Man. He's one of the coolest things he's got. I mean, it would be considered a toy because it's a miniature model, but he has this really dope collection in his bathroom of outboard motors, but they're like 1/16 scale.
Oh yeah.
And they
They're the
liter-
salesman models.
And they literally ran on gas
Yeah.
with oscillating cylinder. You had to put 0.02 quarts of oil in it and
Yeah.
mix gasoline, and you would put it on the back of like a 1/3 scale wooden boat, and the motherfucker would just.
Yeah.
Really?
They were real shit. It was crazy, dude.
Yeah, they were like
crazy.
salesman models,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
The salesman would go out and demonstrate the motor
Yeah.
and shit like that to the clients.
Yeah,
Holy crap,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that's
it's
dope
crazy.
as hell.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's got shit. That and his jukebox, record collection.
Yeah.
That puts. us
I gotta
on
say,
a-
I've got quite a few collections because I mean, I'm a Rocks and Minerals fiend. I love Rocks and Minerals. I've got a pretty decent few shelf collection of some decent specimens in my time.
And your backyard has some gems.
My
that's right.
backyard is like
yeah.
covered in agate slices. It's
Hell yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. Grab me a beverage, please.
I actually had that written down. I did music gear for some reason.
Oh, yeah,
shoes.
no.
I was
Music
gonna
gear.
talk
I mean,
about
you know,
Yes,
shit.
you're-
Steve-O
yeah.
knows more than anything. I sold him an entire
my
rack,
God. Oh, yeah.
an entire rack full of gear.
Yes.
that was literally backup for my backup equipment.
I'm jealous of
I
that
owned
buy.
I owned a live sound company for a long time, and some of that stuff was my studio gear that I've upgraded since then. You know, and that kind of stuff. And it's like I really don't need the backups.
Right.
You know, I
Your
barely use.
your collection of pedals is like, whoa, dude.
It's wrong. It's wrong. I was literally able to cobble Steven together a pedal board.
Right.
And for a moment there, I thought I was like, "Oh, I'm putting this guy out. He's giving me like these pedals. He probably don't have like."
Then I showed him the tub of pedals.
Right?
Then I showed him the tub of pedals. I was like, no, like all these work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Tub
insane.
oak pedal.
Like
Do they work?
I have a problem,
Right.
and I'm trying to remedy it.
It's literally
I love that problem,
a good
though.
problem. Man.
Yeah, I know.
It is.
Like, it's something you will be using. It's something that you will use. It's something that
Yeah.
you might always use.
I'll be there,
But
like-
it's something that you can sell that someone else can use.
Yeah.
You know, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. When it comes down to it, I do sell stuff nowadays. There's not a whole lot that is for sale. There's a whole nother rack, literally, of effects that I need to figure out how to plug in. But they're like my analog Effectron mono delays that are like beautiful and amazing and like auto oscillate on themselves and
Right.
just make cool badass sounds. And I need to have them in my rig, but I got no room. And I've got a pretty big rig at my house.
Get that Thurman
There you
go.
Like, yeah. Dude, I still want to get a
I wanna
pitch
hear
bender.
that.
I want to, whenever you get that friggin'
that whammy.
Korg, the Korg whammy, yeah. Whenever you
I wanna
get
get
that,
that.
you need to bring it over so we can plug it into the theremin and pitch dive that damn thing.
Oh, shit. No
Just
way.
get like demon sounds out of a theremin.
What?
Dude. Just dive bomb their
He
octave.
could be the Thurman player, dude. That'd be so
Yeah.
dope.
That's dope, man.
Modern,
Sick twisted things go on in my brain, dude. It's wrong.
modern age Beach Boys.
It's wrong.
I can relate.
Alan came over. Shout out to Alan Cunningham.
Yo, Alan.
Double J
Alan.
Studios. He came over and did a gig in
that's
Austin not too long ago and stayed at the house. And he came into the studio and I turned everything on. It's all one switch and all the lights come on, like the lights
shit.
behind it. Everything. He was like, "Oh my god!" like the Moog.
Oh my god.
The Moog fires up and all the lights
Oh,
go by.
shit,
and
even the
shit.
Moog, huh?
He's like, "It's." Dude,
Yeah.
I'm so fucking proud of you. This is beautiful. It is a badass workstation. I love it.
That's
I love
so
it.
dope.
And I don't take advantage enough of it.
Right.
Quite honestly, I need to start making a whole lot more music.
Yeah.
My last album that I did, Gemini. Actually, I guess I've gotten some really, really good response on.
Nice.
So,
Hell yeah.
I think you've heard it.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, you heard it.
I've heard some, but
I
I
think
don't think it was
yeah.
Gemini though.
Yeah. It came out all right. I was pretty happy with it. I
Hell
wrote it for my
yeah.
brother's birthday.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Dope.
But gear is definitely one of the things that I collect. There are still dream pieces of gear that I have that eventually, I always wanted a Moog. I now own a Moog.
Right.
So.
I got a question
What's
for
that?
both of y'all. If you just had infinite income, okay?
Yeah.
What would you really like to collect?
Rocks and minerals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just like crazy
They're-
turquoise and like
They're my
don't
passion, and I love them, and they absolutely, since I was a kid, fascinated me. Fascinated me utterly. Like, I was one of the only, somewhere in one of my junior high yearbooks. Feel free to post it, somebody. I called Annie Schultz out and posted her junior high picture when I was talking about how her daughter looked just like her. But somewhere there's a picture of me in the Lapidary Club, the Rocks and Minerals Club, and we learned to shape rocks and minerals and cut them and all that kind of stuff. But I love rocks and minerals. They I don't know. There's just something absolutely mystical about them to me. They resonate with me on a whole beautiful level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love my collection. I love my pieces. And if one of my favorite shows that I've discovered here on Austin PBS, the third channel, Q.
Yeah, Q. There's KLRU, Creed,
Yep.
and Q.
On Sundays at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., there is a show called Mineral Explorer. And
From 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
No,
Oh.
at 10 a.m.
Oh.
and at 10 p.m. There's two different episodes.
Nice.
And literally, this dude travels the globe finding specimens of rocks and
Dope.
minerals. Goes into the mines and shit like that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's fucking amazing,
On
dude.
Saturdays?
It's so great. It's on Sundays.
Sundays.
And it's so badass. So check your local PBS listings for Mineral Explorer.
Let's
I'm
check that out.
such a dork for rocks and minerals, dude.
Nice.
I absolutely love them. It's always been Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just something I've been into since I was a kid. I'd check books out on rocks and minerals from the library. So,
Dope.
Hell yeah.
That's probably what I would, if I had money, you know,
Right,
it wouldn't
right.
be cars or something. I would have a space about this big,
For sure.
full of black lit shelves,
Yeah.
and just specimens everywhere, you know, and probably some huge like quartz table in
Right.
the middle.
I would honestly collect.
That'd be dope.
I would collect wood.
Wood.
Like exotic, because
Yeah.
I've always wanted to
Totally.
have a really nice wood making workshop to
Oh,
make
yeah, yeah.
guitars.
Oh, yeah.
But if I had ultimate income, I would be collecting like ultra crazy fucking rare woods and making crazy guitars.
You know, I have a buddy of mine that we should hook up with, and we should totally go do an episode from his shop. He actually does all kinds of fucking wood turning and shit like that. Dancer, I'm talking to you. He lives right up in the hill country. In Wimberley, and dude, you can probably find him. It's I'm not going to give his Facebook out publicly, but I'll show him to you
Yeah, I
after
wanna
the
see
show.
that.
Like he's always posting this shit. Like we got another order for pins, and it's like walnut burl pins.
Ooh, wow.
You know, and like walnut, just all kinds of beautiful hardwood work. It's
Hell yeah.
absolutely amazing,
Fuck
dude,
yeah.
what he's turning out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could totally make that connection for you,
Shit,
man.
yeah.
and help
That
make
is
that
dope.
happen for you.
Cool.
So
Hell yeah.
I'm all about making dreams reality, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm kind of
The dream
I'm
maker.
kind of attracted to you right now.
Stop it.
That's just because he's
Naughty,
wearing some.
naughty boy.
He's wearing lipstick. That's all.
Am I? Oh my god, I forgot to take it off.
That's the audacity.
Well, the audacity.
That's the audacity.
See, that's how that commercial should
Exactly.
be.
Well, the
Like
audacity.
some man comes up and flirts with this dude, and he's like, "Well, the audacity," and then that's it. The
audacity.
fucking commercial.
That's it. Done. We need $10,000
Let's make this commercial
now.
happen.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, we should totally go up there and do a show from that. That would be
That'd be
awesome
cool
to go
as
do it
shit,
from the wood
man.
shop.
Right.
You know, maybe make something with him during
I'm always
the day.
amazed by that.
Stuff like that, because it is some amazing work that he's turning out. I've been very, very pleased with what he's been doing.
Dope.
You know, he's really, and it's something that, you know, to me, people ask me all the time. Jer, my buddy who's been on the show, has this phrase like, "Dude, quit blowing smoke up my ass, man." And I'm like, I don't think you get it. Like, I absolutely love and adore what I do every single day. Like, I love it. I live for what I do.
Nice.
When I'm not busy working, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Whether it's editing podcasts for myself and other people, or, you know,
That's the way to
going
do it.
out and doing gigs like I was today in corporate America.
Goddamn corporate America.
I love it. I love it. And I'm blessed to be able to follow my passions in life. And that's what collecting is. You know, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, whether it's vinyl, whether it's comic books, whether it's old fishing reels or
Right.
tackle, you know, those are huge collectibles. Whether it's old farm implements, whatever, man,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You know, myself, I have a huge collection of instruments.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do.
I've got a lot of gear, so I need a lot of instruments to make
Yeah,
noise.
most
Like,
fucking definitely.
it's crazy, and my wife entertains all of this, and she understands that it's passions that I have, and as long as our bills are paid, that, you know, hey, if you can substantiate this. Now the agreement, especially with big purchases of gear, is if it's not paid for in 6 months with gigs, I have to sell it.
Yeah.
So that kind of lights the fire. But whenever it comes to like a guitar that I'm building or something like that, which I'm prone to just whip one together with parts that I have laying around.
Nice.
Like I have a spare guitar body.
Hell yeah.
I've got a spare neck. I've got some bridges. I could cobble something together over a weekend, you know, but yeah, it's about living life through those passions. It's
Right.
about finding those things that you love to do. You know, like
I used to collect when I was, you know, in high school and stuff is when it started, and it just kind of grew. Was like Guitar World magazine.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
taught me guitar with tablature in it and
Yeah.
stuff. So I started to have boxes of it, you know.
Yeah.
like, and you know.
So did I.
Yeah.
That was something that I had to stop collecting.
Yeah, I know, right? I just started to have boxes.
Because I
of
had
it.
boxes of it, and boxes of it, and boxes of it. And
But
half
it's
of
kind
it
of
was
cool
like,
now because now, I mean, some of the tablature is hard to come by these days.
oh, yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah,
most
it is.
definitely.
It used to be
Most
kind of
definitely.
out there. And now
Yeah,
it's
there was
like,
a
oh,
lot of free sites, and they all
Yeah.
got shut down. And
Yeah.
then the X tabs is now like $20 a month. No,
Yeah.
it's probably not that much, but it's pretty ridiculous.
And I never thought it would be that way. And it's like, man, wish I would have, you know, collected more or whatever. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
now these are kind of like worth something or something.
yeah. Well, you know, and there's definitely a market for them. There's definitely people out there that do collect all that stuff. Even like Wizard magazine, which was like
Oh,
a
I
comic
remember
book.
Wizard.
Yeah, like that's a collectible market. Like there are
Dang.
people who are all about it. It's like
Right.
holy shit.
I still got
Yeah.
some old Wizards. Yeah.
I was going to ask you earlier on a side note, is Half Price Books one of our sponsors?
I don't know, but we can talk to them.
Yeah, we did.
Well, off the record, if they're not, their prices have gone up, man.
They have.
oh,
Like I
they
used
have.
to like go in there
Really?
too for records, you
Yeah.
know, for $1, $2.
Yeah.
You go in there and like a record that I have in my
Well,
collection
and that's
that I got for
because
50
that's
cents is
because there's a
$7.
market for it now.
And I know, and
back
people
at
are
that point when
paying.
I was doing it, like in the early 2000s, stuff
Yeah.
like that, there wasn't really the vinyl market that there is now.
Right.
You know, so you can't really blame them for bringing it.
Not
up.
at all. I get
and it's
it.
not that their prices are outrageous.
No.
But there is
But
some
they-
of their stuff where it's like new vinyl, and yeah, it's like
Well,
$25-$30.
Yeah, but they also have the overhead to let that float. Like, we're gonna put this record for $7, but we could sit on that for a year.
Yeah.
Where some people like, we're gonna put this for 50 cents because I can't sit on for a week. Like
Yeah.
it needs to get out of my hands. Like
Yeah.
I need to bill overhead.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like they sell so much other shit for so like always selling books. Obviously that's their name. They can mark up the prices on the records and sit on it. You know.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you know, they have to charge a fair market value for that. And the problem is, you got to go by the value and do half.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go by cover price because there's no cover price on most LPs.
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
No
Literally
cover
half.
on this record.
So
No
yeah,
cover price.
yeah, no cover price, no deal, dog.
You dog, get the fuck
Shit.
out. You want record? You go across the street.
But yeah, I mean, it's a
Damn
great
right.
way to buy comic books. It's a great way to find a lot of collectible stuff like graphic novels,
Yep.
old school novels, First Prince of stuff. You know, that's even modern stuff. That's you know, like First Prince of Stephen King and stuff like that. It's a great place and a great way to find stuff. So, on that note, everybody, that's going to pretty much wrap it for this episode of Dudes and Beer. Make sure to tune in on all of our, you know, podcast markets. Make sure to check out the Revolution Digital Group podcasts. You know, International O. We got those damn comic book guys. Fuck your opinion. All that. Till next time, everybody. If you can't be good, be good at it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Dudes and Beer Podcast. To listen to our live audio streams, tune in at dudesandbeer.com or Spreaker.com/dudesandbeer. You can find our episodes on SoundCloud.com as well as the Google Play and iTunes market. You can also find us on YouTube, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast service. Dudes and Beer is a proud member of the Revolution Digital Group family of podcasts. Thanks for listening, everybody, and until next time, drink responsibly.